Well, it's great that in recent years we've all had a focus on takeaway coffee cups and just how bad they are for the environment. But I think there's one other thing that's probably worse that doesn't really get as much attention, and that is the takeaway food container.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So I'm happy to be talking today with Naomi Tarszisz, the founder and CEO of RePlated, which is coming up with a solution to this problem. So thank you so much for joining us, Naomi.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Alana.
Thank you. Tell us about RePlated. What is it?
Well, RePlated makes reusable takeaway food containers that is designed to replace single use, and we also create systems to make that switch to reuse a success. So we're working in quite a few different ways from everyone from corporates through to individuals, and from takeaway food delivery and all kinds of ways you can get food.
Yeah. Okay. And so you've actually got one of your containers there. Let's have a look.
You can bring it up here. They're beautiful. They're Australian made, so we designed and made them here in Sydney. I'm going the wrong way. Sydney's northern beaches, so not very far from the centre of town. And they're a beautiful product. They're made from recycled material, and they're recyclable as well. But we're actually a business that is circular by design. So the containers themselves we also take back at the end of their life to turn into new products, which is
excellent.
Really important to us.
Yes. Yeah. And so if I'm a consumer, how can I'm a person who wants to get some takeaway. How do I participate? How do I join in?
That's a great question. So for most Australians at the moment, we're really using BYO. So you buy a container to use the system. And then when you do, we look at your postcode. We make sure there are at least 3 to 5 places local to you on our network, which you can see on our website, and you can take your container and use it there. If you find other places that are local that are using it, let us know. We add them to the network. It's growing all the time. And yeah, that's probably the most common way that people are using it now. But we also run a swap and wash pilot in Waverley, about to extend into Bondi. And with that one, you can actually order ahead because it's a swap system. So you can order ahead or have your food delivered. And you just need to let them know that you're using RePlated, and they'll tell you how many containers you need to leave on your front doorstep or to bring when you come, and you'll be able to swap your clean containers for cleaned, freshly filled with food ones.
And so I think that's some really key points there, is that so at the moment it's a take your own container concept. So I would opt in by visiting your website, getting my container, I'm assuming, and then searching for the businesses in my area who are on board, and then I could turn up, order my food and collect it in my container.
Yeah.
But working on this program with Waverley, which will enable you to ring ahead, which we all like doing.
We do. We like delivery even more.
We do, don't we? We do.
Yeah.
So that's really great. So what's to stop me from just taking my own container down to the store, the food place, and asking them to just do it in my own container?
Well, I would ask you, what is stopping you? Nothing's stopping you. But at the moment, I think that represents about 0.1% of the market. So maybe there are definitely climate leaders who do that without any question, or waste warriors. I like to call them waste warriors, actually, who do that. And I think that's great, and we totally encourage it. The issue that you sometimes get on the food vendor end, if you don't know them particularly, is, well, is it the right size? Can I, how do I know how to portion in that? That seems to be a really common problem. And so our container is a standard litre size. It's got a fill line at 750 ml, which is the kind of the standard takeaway size. So for things that are portioned in that way, that's there. And it also fits things really nicely like sushi and all of that kind of thing. So I guess it's that a food vendor, they know that they can trust that our containers are the right size, and generally also that they also know they can refuse them if they're not clean, which is really the big thing we always talk about. It's just always making sure that whatever container you bring is clean. But there's nothing to stop you doing it. It's just that most people don't do that currently, and we think that's partly because I guess it feels weird. And for the people that are doing that, we congratulate them. We just want to help more people join them in that fight.
Yeah, and it sounds good. And as you said, you've worked with vendors to get some standard sizing that they're happy to accept as well, which is not something that we all generally do, I guess, or have lying around at home.
Yeah, completely. And even if you do, I think it just sometimes feels a bit strange to go and do it. Whereas with this, you know that you can use it, and that's really,
you're part of a program. Yeah, you're part of something. Yeah.
And you're going to start to look out. So the most of the food vendors, they're on our network. We're rolling out some really nice stickers, so you'll see that on on their point of sale or in their window, letting you know that you can use your container at their venue.
Excellent. And so, what's next for RePlated?
Well, I think for us, we really want to be able to scale what we're doing with Swap and Wash. That's a really huge part of the business. We also work with corporate. So the idea for the business came from, I was working in the city in a building. And I mean, the idea came from a lot of places, but the problem that I wanted to solve at first was really that lunchtime one, and helping companies kind of live the values that they say. Like a lot, most companies actually are, have signed up to some pretty ambitious waste targets that, that they set themselves, and we want to help them achieve that. And this innovation helps them purchase that for their teams to use at lunchtime. And in some instances, so in-house cafes starting to switch over from single use to reuse. And even actually some of them, they might be doing a canteen service on a ceramic plate, but people want to be able to take it to their desk or take it somewhere else, so to be able to take it out of the building too. So I guess that's take out as well.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of really exciting pilots in the mix for that are coming up in the next couple of months, which is really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And you touched a little bit on where the idea came from, but what is your background? Do you have? Yeah, tell us. Do you have a sustainability background? I feel like
I've kind of done a bit of a master's in sustainability in the last couple of years. I've been a waste warrior my whole life. So I started up picking out waste rubbish from Sydney harbour beaches for Keep Australia Beautiful Day back in the 80s, way back in the 80s. And that was with my mum and dad. And then, if you come 30 years on, I'm back on those same beaches with my own kids, picking up the same rubbish. And I had that thing, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with beach cleanups, and I still do it, but I wanted to do something to fix the tide of plastic that was coming out and all of that waste. And that's really where RePlated came from. But my background is in service design, digital transformation, that kind of thing. So I guess the thing sometimes people ask me is, you're a techie who picked a non-tech business, but actually this business is becoming a tech business. So we really are we're a circular tech company that focuses in on hospitality, and that's really exciting, because this is like we're now heading into the part of the business that I already knew how to do, as opposed to all the stuff we didn't. But on the plus side, I think we've done a good job. Like, we were top 5% in the world for B Corp this year, which is our first year of being a B Corp. What's our first, proper year, like outside of only doing pilots. And we also won a Circle Award a couple of months ago as well in the B2B category. So just for our commitment to circularity, and that's, we're really proud of those. And I feel like I still have so much to learn on my sustainability journey, but I know that we're doing the best we can, definitely.
Yeah, congratulations. No mean feats, all of those awards that you just mentioned there. Yeah, huge congratulations. I loved when we were chatting and you said to me it was sort of like the keep cup for food. Can we just quantify this problem a little bit? Because I think we all sort of have the stat for the takeaway coffee cups in our mind, but can we just quantify this problem a little bit more?
Yes. So Australians eat 4.5 million takeaway meals every day. The average Australian eats out 3 times a week. It is a very big problem. I think it's 1.5 billion, more than 1.5 billion takeaway meals a year. Now, obviously, not all of those are in containers. Some of them are going to be pizza, and some of them are going to be, brain fart, burgers. And that's definitely part of it. But actually, that's not necessarily including fast food, but just anyway from fancy burgers. But what you have in that is all of that. It's still a similar problem to a coffee cup. But I think if we're honest, coffee is a simpler one to solve. There's less sizes involved. It's the same thing that goes in it every time, pretty much. So it's a simpler problem to solve, and they both need to be solved. Like, I think, we just decided that we wanted to try another problem, and it's a big problem, and it's going to need a lot of solutions to get it right. And we just want to be be there to help Australians on that first step on this journey.
Yeah, amazing. And so for people who are listening or reading, where do they go to find more information, or if they're a food vendor and they want to get on board?
We love food vendors. So everything's available on our website. So we're replated.co. You can also follow us on Instagram at RePlated. So those are the two main places, I guess, that people come to us. There's a whole section for food vendors on the website which explains, how it works and how they can get on board, and we've got like lots of contact forms and that kind of thing. And yeah, you can also buy them on our website. Absolutely. And there's also a growing number of food vendors who themselves sell them. So all of our swap vendors sell the containers as well, and there are other retailers coming on board across the country the next couple of months. I should actually, the one thing I was meant to say, I always forget the one thing I was meant to say. So we're about to relaunch the product. So the product that we have out in the market that I have here is actually our beta product, and that's about to be upgraded to our 2.0 product, which is going to be in some beautiful colorways, and that's all going to be launching on the website in the next week or so. So you should definitely check them out. And there's two beautiful blues to choose from.
Lovely. Well, we will pop all of those details in the post with this video as well, so people will be able to easily find you and see these beautiful new designs.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, and can't wait to see all of your successes roll out.
Oh, neither can we. Thank you.
Thanks, Naomi.